What's up everyone? So today I'm going to do a two-hand Mace 360 tutorial, okay? So let's look at a couple of reps and then we're going to break it all down, all right? All right, so some key things here. The hand on top, I dive over the opposite shoulder. Now, when you get proficient with the technique, it technically does not matter which side you go over. But I think this is the easiest way to learn it, and to be completely honest with you, it's still the way I do it. It packs the shoulders a little more to go with the top hand to the opposite side. So that being said, a little more stable. Now, a couple things about this. I'm diving over the shoulder, okay, at an angle, and I don't know that there's a perfect angle, but let's call it about a 45-ish, right? And then behind me, see these elbows really, really high? This is so important. People are afraid of the mace hitting you. Well, so if you watch, let me just turn here. If you look at this, all right, there's my pendulum with my elbows high. If I don't have my elbows nice and high, so basically they're pulled forward a bit, right? Or they're not deep. See how deep I am behind the head? My hand is behind my head. Look at that. Can you see that? My hand is behind my head. That allows the mace to lay straight down at a perfect vertical, and as it swings back and forth, unless you got a big squat butt, you might brush into that, that's okay, but you won't hit yourself, okay? If you're angled, right, you will, on the next swing, probably hit into yourself. So that's one of the things most people are concerned with, is that they're gonna hit themselves. So there's a bunch of things that they do. Another thing they do is they go real high. Let's not try not to hit my fan. They go real high and they do these tiny little circles real up high because they want to control this, because they don't want it hitting them. You want it down here, okay? I say at least your fist down to your umbilicus, which is your belly button, all right? So you get that down there, all right? So when I come down, that is much more stable than up here. Up here, I'm using a lot of wrist and grip strength just to maintain the torque that this mace wants to move with, okay? So you want to bring your hands down. Very, very important, all right? So we dive over the shoulder. We keep the elbows really high as it swings behind our back. So you can think of it a couple of ways. Elbows high or hand deep behind your head, or behind even your neck if you can get it, depending on your mobility, okay? Some other things. So I come over and then I pull. So I'm pulling it back down into position, okay? So that's another component. As we're coming over the shoulder after we swung behind the back, we're pulling it down. We're not just kind of keeping it here and doing these tiny little ones like I said, okay? So those are some key things when you're doing a Mace 360 that you want to be aware of. We want to keep a nice relaxed grip also. I mean, eventually you're going to have to go a little tighter than you want to necessarily, because you got to control it a little bit when you're learning the movement, but eventually you only want to hold it with enough grip strength to maintain the grip and have it not go flying out of your hand. Very, very important, okay? But realistically, I should be able to do this in a hallway, right? Because that mace is going to brush behind my back. So when we look at it here, it's just going to brush right behind, right? See how tight that is? So that's going to really help you a lot. Try to think if there's anything else I want to tell you guys. I think that covers all the key components that I wanted to share. Keeping your core tight the whole time. Another thing is this, you will see this, that you can stay tight and it works the core a little more, right? So I stay real tight here, keep that core just bricked in, or I can move with it. And this is actually more beneficial for higher rep sets, because again, you're using body unity, right? To move and use momentum, right? Use your body weight to lean a little bit. So some people have said, oh, it's because you can't do it with of course you can do it. Of course you can do it with a tight core, but that might not be your goal, especially if you do a lot of other stuff that's core work. It might be your goal to just get some really high reps and build that endurance. So if you have any questions, let me know. Stay strong. I'll see you next time.